Hi guys, my name is Kelvin. As you all know, I'm the CEO and founder of Levels Conglomerate. So today we bring you yet another interesting tip on technical issues. And today we'll be talking about spark plugs as a crucial aspect of every combustion engine. Alright, so we'll be talking about spark plugs. Hello people, what do you mean by spark plug? What is a spark plug? Alright, a spark plug is a very crucial part of a combustion engine, every combustion engine. You get? A spark plug does the work of, it is very responsible for igniting fuel and air mixture in the engine. You get? It helps ignite fuel and air mixture for combustion in the cylinders of every engine, and thereby providing power and energy for your engine to work efficiently. Alright, so a spark plug has basically four parts. It has four basic parts, and I'll be taking you on a journey by listing and explaining the parts of a spark plug. Alright, so number one part of a spark plug is called electrode. Take note of that, electrode. That is number one. Then we have number two, which is called a shell. A shell is another part of a spark plug. Then we also have another part which is called terminal. Terminal is another part of a spark plug, you get. And the last but not the least is called an insulator. Alright, so I'll be demonstrating these four parts I just mentioned to you now practically. Alright, so pay attention. Plug. This is a spark plug. Remember, for those who don't know, this is a spark plug. Let me see. This is a spark plug. This point right here, the top, is called the terminal. You understand? This is the terminal of the spark plug. This white part from here to here is called an insulator. This is the insulating part of a spark plug. Alright? Now, this metallic part over here, the one that from here to this place that contains a thread, is called a shell. This is a shell of a spark plug. And the last one is called electrode. You see this place? This is an electrode. Now you pay attention, look carefully. The point inside here is also called an electrode. We have two types of electrode on a spark plug. The inner part is called center electrode, while the down part is called ground electrode. Do you understand? Are we together? So the terminal is responsible for collecting electric current from the ignition of every vehicle or engine, as the case may be. It collects the current through the terminal and passes it down to the electrode, to the center. So I hope you understand the four parts of a spark plug. Right? Was I very clear on that? Please let me know in the comment section. And before I go ahead, please like and subscribe on our channel. So let's move ahead to how the spark plug works. How do spark plugs work on your engines? Alright, I'll be taking us on that journey. It's very simple. It's very simple. Like I always say, once you know the working principle of each and every part of the engine, you are just good to go. Fixing it will no longer be a problem. Maintenance will no longer be a problem for you. So what are the functions and how does it work? Alright, so now pay attention please. You look at the terminal, right? The terminal, this particular one, the top is the terminal like we said earlier. So the terminal is responsible for collecting electric current which comes from the ignition of your vehicle, right? It collects this current and passes it down to the electrode, to the center electrode. This is the center electrode, like I told you earlier. So it passes the current from the terminal down to the center electrode, and then from the center electrode it tries to contact with the ground electrode. The sparks try to contact with the ground electrode. But what happens here is this: there is something we call spark gap. You see, the space in between the center electrode and the ground electrode is what we call spark gap, and this spark gap is responsible for what we call resistance. It resists the current that tries to contact with the ground electrode. That is what this spark gap does. You get, and as it's trying its possible best to resist the spark, it then ignites and combustion takes place. What we'll be talking about is called spark gap. Spark gap is simply a distance between the center electrode and the ground electrode. Okay, so this is a practical example. If you pick up any spark plug right now, the distance, the space between the center electrode and the ground electrode is what we call spark gap. Okay, so what is the function of the spark gap? Spark gap is a high level resistance of electric current that tries to pass through from the center electrode to the ground electrode. Okay, so it tries to create a resistance. All right, so it thereby creates continuous spark in between the spark, the center electrode and the ground electrode. So that is the essence of a spark gap. All right, so this is your plug, right? This is your plug, and I earlier told you that the space, the gap in between the center electrode and the ground electrode is what we call spark gap. Now, how to set this spark gap is very simple. You look at this thing I'm holding. This is a razor blade, right? For novice or for amateurs, if you want to set your spark gap, what you do is take your razor blade, place it in between the center electrode, right? Place it in between the center electrode and the ground electrode. If it doesn't contact, it therefore means something is wrong, right? If it is too big, like the way mine is now, you can see that it is too big. It is too big. You can slide in and out. Can you see? So it is too big and it won't work perfectly like this. So what we are going to do is to close it a little bit, right? All right, so now we are going to adjust this. You see, from now, you just look for something to hit it a little bit, not too hard. Look at what I've done. I've totally closed the mouth of this spark plug. By mouth, I mean the electrode. I closed the ground electrode. It is now contacting directly with the center electrode. Now, what do you think will happen? In most cases, your engine will not even start. My brothers and sisters, it didn't start. My technicians out there, most people do these mistakes. And for car owners and engine owners who try to do some maintenance by themselves, please, this is a notice. This won't work for you. So what do you do in this case? If you see any plug that is like this, it means the spark, you won't experience any spark from the plug, you understand? So you have to open the electrode, the ground electrode. You have to give it a space. Yeah, it needs a space, a gap. You need to set that gap. So what you do is you're going to open it a little bit. It is not going to be too wide. It's not going to be too tight. All right. That's what we're going to do now. And then you make sure there is a blade can pass in. All right. And the razor blade shouldn't pass too loose and it shouldn't be too tight. You get? Now, watch what we're going to do. Perfect way to set your spark gap. You see my razor blade is now passing through the electrode, the center electrode and the ground electrode through. Can you see? So once you have something like this, you are good to go. Can you see this? So if you have something like this, you are good to go. Alright? Okay guys, so thank you very much for watching. Please do well to subscribe, like and share our videos. Thank you very much.